back to our videos. Today we have Luke and Gabby with us. Luke is 6 and Gabby is 4. And today we're going to be sharing some reading strategies to help your children become more fluent in reading. If you've been following our journey, we are a homeschool family. I have 5 children. I've taught all of them how to read by the age of 3, and I've shared videos on all of that, and I'll link them below. So we use these elemental phonics books, and they are very simple books with short lessons with 5 words a page, and the kids have loved these books and have progressed very well with them. At the end of the first book, they're reading sentences. So Gabby finished that one already, so she's working on level 2 this year, and Luke is finishing up with elemental phonics level 3 this year. Once he has finished his elemental phonics level 3, he has covered all of the 44 phonograms of the English language. The English language is phonetic. Once you've learned all of the sounds, you can pick up any book and should be able to read it. But it's important to know that even though they're going through these books and they're learning these sounds, you need to get out there and have them read books from the library, readers that you buy for them. So the first reading advice that I'm going to give you is have them read, as soon as they finish the level 1, have them read phonetic readers. That's the first step. We love using Bob's books as a starting point. They're very simple and short books. They're phonetic. And Gabby's also reading this phonetic reader this year. This is simple sentences and stories that she's also reading. So let's say you give them a book and they're going to sound differently. So right away when they start reading, it's going to sound more of robotic, where they're sounding out every letter. Gabby, can you read that first word for us nice and loud?
Mat.
So that's how it's going to sound when they read through the books. Can you read, let's see, can you read that sentence for us?
Mat, sat.
So you're gonna hear them sounding things out, and they start to become more fluent as they go. Luke, can you read this title for us?
Dodge and the dog.
Okay, let's open up to the first page here.
Dog had a bag.
Okay, so as you can see, he's reading a lot more fluent.
The bag had a tag.
Good. So he's reading fluently. He's not sounding out as much as she is. But even if he encounters a word that he does not know, he'll fall back on phonics, which is the beauty of always teaching phonics first. So that is why I love these phonetic readers. So that is the first thing, read phonetic readers. Once they've gone through some phonetic readers, then you want to start taking them to the library. And this is something that we do often here in our home. We go twice a month, sometimes we go 3 times a month, and we get lots of books. We focus on level 1, level 2, level 3, depending on where they are in their reading journey. And then we'll bring those books home. Don't expect them to be able to just read library books. There's a lot of words in there that use irregular sounds. So I'm going to teach you now how, using different strategies, they bring those books from the library and they can really start practicing their fluency, their intonation, their expression, and they're learning these words. So let's say we got this book from the library. The first strategy that I'm going to share with you is echo reading. And that is, Luke, can you sit on that side, love? And that is, you bring a book from the library. So the first technique that I'm going to share with you is called echo reading. Echo reading is when you read first and then the child repeats after you. So they're practicing fluency, they're practicing expression, and they're not sounding robotic. So let's say I have this book that I brought from the library, and I will always point when I'm reading. You want them to point. This is visual tracking, and this is reading from left to right. And you don't want them to just memorize the book, which memory is going to be used, and that is part of the practice. But you want them to point as they read. Very important that you also point as you read. Ready, Luke?
Yes.
Down by the bay.
Down by the bay.
Good. Now let's open up to the first page, and then Gabby's going to get a chance to go. Ready? Let's see if our friends can see here. Then you want to go slow at first. You don't want to read like a whole page. Just slow, like this. Down by the bay, where the...
Down by the bay, where the
watermelons grow.
Watermelons grow.
Now let's read the whole thing. Down by the bay, where the watermelons grow.
Down by the bay, where the watermelons grow.
Okay. Back to my home, I dare not go.
Back to my home, I dare not go.
Let's see if they can see here. For if I do, my mother will say.
For if I do, my mother will say.
Okay, let's let Gabby have a chance. Gabby, come on up. Ready? Did you ever see a bear?
Did you ever see a bear
Combing his hair?
combing his hair
Down by the bay?
down by the bay?
Okay, so that's how we do it. We just read and they follow. And you want them to use the same pace that you're reading at, the same intonation. And you want to be expressive when you read. You don't want to sound robotic. And so any book that they bring from the library, we'll read that book. We can read that one book all week long. We can read a few big books all week long, and we'll have them practice like this. As they go on, if you do this first time around, the second time around that they're reading the books by themselves. So echo reading is such a great strategy to help children reach fluency, and I highly recommend it. I'm going to also share with you another book that I love to use, and I'm going to call in my older child with me. Emily, come on over. Now I want to share another strategy that you can use with your readers so that they can become fluent readers. So instead of having them repeat with you like the echo reading, you can also take turns reading, and you can get leveled readers according to their level of reading. And I'm going to demonstrate with Emily here. So we have this little book called Can't You Sleep, Dottie? So let's say this is the book that you've got from the library and you want to encourage reading in children. And this way it makes it fun and interactive, and they're bonding with a parent as well. Can't you sleep, Dottie? So then I'll read the first page and then she'll read the second page, and we go on and on like this. Dottie couldn't sleep. It was her first night in her new home.
She tried sleeping upside down. She tried snuggling with her penguin.
She even tried lying on the floor. Oh! But still, Dottie couldn't sleep.
Dottie's howling woke up Pip, the mouse. Can't you sleep, Dottie? He asked. Perhaps you should try counting the stars like I do.
Okay, so you just continue reading like that, taking turns, and of course making corrections if needed. Another way that you can do this is reading with these You Read to Me and I'll Read to You books, and they're really fun. This one is very short, Mother Goose Tells to Read Together, and they have lots of different ones. And we love reading them together with the kids, especially for the children that are fluent and can read well. So let me show you for an example. So they're in different colors, and so it has a passage for the parent, a passage for the child, and then something that you can read together. So it's collaborative. Ready, Emily? Humpty Dumpty. I'm all cracked up. I really hurt. And look, I tore my pants and shirt.
I must admit, I don't know whether I can put you back together.
The Kingsman tried, his horses too, but there was nothing they could do.
Well, I'm a doctor, as you see, but eggs are not my specialty.
Dear Dr. Brown, please take a try. If you don't operate, I'll die.
Dear Humpty Dumpty, don't despair. I'll do my best on your repair.
Why, Dr. Brown, you've done so well. You've patched me up. You've fixed my shell.
Dear Humpty Dumpty, that's so kind. And now my fee, if you don't mind.
Why, Dr. Brown, you charge a fee? My operation wasn't free.
I never heard of such a thing. Why don't you ask your friend the king?
I'll have to tell him what you charge. I hope your bill is not too large.
I've never fixed an egg before. I'll have to charge a little more.
How much is that?
$1.05.
Why, that's a lot.
Well, you're alive.
Why, yes, I am.
Then pay my fee. If you're alive, it's thanks to me.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. The doctor came running. He got there at 10 and put Humpty Dumpty together again. So they're fun books. That was just one little story. They're short and you can do them together. This is by Mary Ann Hoberman, and I'm going to link them below in the description box. So just to recap our video, you want to start off with phonetic readers, such as the Bob's books or Phonetic Reader here that Gabby's reading this year. And then you want to bring in books from the library. Be reading every single week. Have your children read. This is how they reach fluency. And you can use the 2 techniques that I mentioned, whether it's echo reading and they're reading, repeating after you, or whether you're reading in a collaborative way, collaborative reading. And that way they are encouraged. It's interactive. They don't feel frustrated to read these books from the library that have big words and irregular sounds. And you're going to see that as you continue doing this, they start to become fluent and they're taking off and they no longer need you anymore to read those books from the library when they're first starting off reading. I hope that you have enjoyed the video. I'll link the Elemental Phonics books below. These are great books because they will teach your children the basics of phonics so that they could always fall upon phonics. You don't want children to sight read. So that's why having a good phonics foundation is very, very important. And not all reading programs are phonetic based, and not all of them teach the 44 phonograms of the English language. And so it's very important that you do the research on the programs that do offer that. I will link everything that I mentioned below, and I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next video. Say bye, Emmy.
Bye.
Bye.